What's the definition of the nutritional component being a good nutritional plan for the athletic body blueprint?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So I struggled with this for many, many years, trying to figure out what this would look like. So if you look to the science, right, and you try to figure out how many calories, how many macros, how many vitamins, all these kinds of things, again, it gets very messy and it can be very much in the weeds. Like, it's so easy to get lost in that stuff. And the truth is, and you can go look this up on your own, I would encourage you to do that, but if you look at the research and the science that's out there, most of it is not very good. And nothing tells us definitively, at least in the literature, in the scientific world, definitively what we should be eating to be at our most healthful self. Like, nobody really knows, right? Like, we have to come at this whole nutrition thing.
So you're saying it's kind of like the nutritional, recommendations, suggestions, including food pyramid, that it's kind of arbitrary and suggestive versus
very much so.
Pinpoint, accurate, and proven that this is what's best for the human body to consume in order to
be healthy. Yeah, and I think it's really important. We have to make sure that we're talking about being healthy here, not just losing weight.
Okay,
right?
So there's a distinction.
Because we know we can starve someone. Right? Like if you cut somebody's calories enough, we can legitimately starve someone. They're going to get skinnier. Like, we know that. There's this, that if you're out there and you're like, well, calories in, calories out, it's the law of thermodynamics. You're absolutely right. Right? But again, if our intention is not just to lose weight, but it's to be the most healthful version of ourselves, again, there's no perfect diet that we know of that's going to deliver that, at least from a science standpoint. Okay? So here's what I came up with, and here's how I was able to kind of rectify all this in my mind, right? Because this is really annoying. Like, if you want to know the answer, and you're looking at the literature and you're trying to learn from this expert or this influencer or whatever, you can just lose your mind. So here's what I did. I'm like, okay, so if all of the grocery stores and all of the restaurants went out of business tomorrow, they just vanished, they just disappeared. All the people that create the foods, right? The manufacturers, if they all just went out of business tomorrow, what are you going to do and what are you going to feed your family? So this is kind of the thought experiment that I used when I came up with this nutrition sort of protocol, right? If you want to call it that. So, asking you that question, like, what would you do?
If all the grocery stores closed and food makers closed and there was
all the restaurants were gone, like, you can't go to Chipotle.
I mean, I'd try to grow my own food.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And what else might you do besides grow your food? You got to live, right? Like, you gotta survive.
Yeah. I'd figure out a way to trap some animals. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah, for sure. Maybe get some chickens.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that you know where I'm going with this, obviously, right? Like, we're going into just going back to Mother Nature, right? If we can put our belief in Mother Nature, and I have the saying, I always say, Mother Nature has our back. If we can put our faith back into Mother Nature, to know that if we eat foods that come from Mother Nature, there's a good chance we're going to get a whole lot healthier.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I've tested this for like 20 years.
Wow.
And this is my personal result, meaning I'm very lean, I'm very healthy, I'm very fit. I've all of these markers that we might look to, like body fat markers, numbers from the doctor, how strong I am, what my endurance looks like. All of those things are at a very, very high level for me. And that's what I've been doing with my nutrition, literally for 20 years. Wow. So no counting calories, no tracking macros, and I've been there, done that. So it's not like I've never done it. I've been there, I've done that. And I've just gone to eating real food and literally just putting my faith back into Mother Nature. And that's what I've done. That's what I've done with other people. And that works so well, because the healthier you become, the leaner you get, the better the numbers are from your doctor, the better you're going to be able to perform. Everything gets better when you just eat some real freaking food.